Cloud Kingdom live here from Las Vegas, Nevada, in the finals of IPL 5.
That is right. Let's do this. We're about to get ready to load in. As you can see, the two players on screen, friends, as we saw them hugging before they get into this. But as soon as they enter the game, they become enemies.
That they do indeed, and there will be no quarter in this engagement. Potentially a best of 8, as weird as that sounds. We're about ready to kick it off. Here we go.
IPL 5. Welcome to IPL 5, Cloud Kingdom.
Yes, indeed, folks. Cloud Kingdom will be the venue for our first engagement right here between this guy. Coming in from the lower bracket in the red trunks, playing Zerg to the southwest. His name is...
Azubu Violet.
Violet looking composed and ready to roll, even after a difficult series against TSL Polt, his opponent, who has, as always, been lurking beneath the waves. In the blue trunks, playing Zerg to the northeast, the Leenock, he is...
FXO Leenock.
Live from Las Vegas, as you can see, and already we have some development in the game. We've already seen a hatchery first come down by Leenock, spawning pool first from Violet. Not too much of a big difference. The biggest point to look at in this game already is going to be the extractor, which has come down really early on from Leenock. So he's actually going to be the one that's going to be controlling this game. He's going to have speed out faster. He's going to be able to have the options to be aggression. So initially, in game number 1 here, Violet's going to have to be playing the defensive player to start with.
Yeah, certainly. And honestly, I feel he's pretty comfortable with that. Violet's Zerg versus Zerg is exceptional. We saw amazing performances out of him at, say, MLG Spring Arena 2, where he took down Stefano and then Symbol in commanding fashion, one after another. His Zerg versus Zerg statistics are very, very good indeed. And he also does play this more reactionary style. He has been known to throw aggressive builds, especially in, say, a best of 7, when it's appropriate to do so. But I feel that this is probably the most comfortable he could be starting off on this map.
Violet's actually scouted what Leenock's doing. He's seen the gas early on. He saw the drone stay in the gas too. So he knows that the option of Bailey Nest is going to come down really, really fast, which is what we're seeing in this game. The Bailey Nest has already started from from Leenock, and likewise from Violet.
Well, we're going to go into this early game Ling Bane Ling style.
But you can see, like, Violet didn't get speeded because he didn't have time.
And
so
he's
gone
straight
to the Bailey Nest. He's got the spine crawler down. So he's actually going to slow his entire game down just to make sure that this early aggression that has been presented doesn't kill him.
Yeah, certainly. And the Bailey Nest is very much defensive. Speed only just starts now, which means that there's nice little window where the first attack could really come in from Leenock. Now, the Spine Crawler has already deployed. Violet is pretty confident, I would imagine, at actually defending this, but you have to watch out for a player like Leenock. And interestingly enough, an Evolution Chamber coming down quite early. Could that be indicative of the +1 Carapace build that we've been seeing lately?
Very, very much so possible. But we don't see heavy amounts of links being made. It was only really drones. So if you look at it, just because of what Violet scouted, he is playing very cautious in game number 1. We are going to have a drone get killed on the natural there.
Yeah,
One
nice
drone pickup.
Yep, nice little bit of control. He's going for a second one. He's going to get it as well. This is already worthwhile.
Yeah, this is really, really good. And you think about it, how Violet slowed himself down to defend against a possible attack.
Oh,
2 Banelings detonated there as well.
Yeah, that's huge.
So already in this game, very small things have developed into Leenock taking a bit of a lead early on, especially just the way that he's playing this out. Mentally, he's going to have a good lead too, just knowing that, well, I've done 2 or 3 small things. I'm doing good already.
Yeah, and I love the fact that Leenock's not just going for this full-on aggression, which is honestly what Violet was preparing for. He morphs defensive Banelings, he puts the Spine Crawler in it. Ooh, nice little save right there with 2 HP on the drone. And honestly, he's invested in a defense that he didn't necessarily need, and yet taken absolutely unnecessary losses. 4 Lings killed 2 Banelings and 2 drones. That's not supposed to happen at all. So Leenock's in a great position now to go for more of a mid-game style of push, and that +1 Carapace is really going to do wonders for him as well.
I think both of these players should be looking towards the Infestor style. They're both playing at a very similar rate of speed at the moment. Nobody is playing fast. As you can see, the lair pretty much identical. It's a little bit faster here for Violet. Both players will want to take a 3rd base now as they've started to stabilize. They're currently sitting around 45 to 50 drones at this point, which is 2 base saturation. So obviously they need to go and take a 3rd base now. But we are going to see Violet try to bring down the 3rd of Leenock, but Leenock's Carapace is going to help out a lot in defending this.
Yeah, certainly. We've actually seen an identical position in previous games. It may even be, yeah, I'm sure it was a game with Violet and Symbol, actually, where this +1 Carapace actually came into effect, and the Banelings suddenly find, oh, that doesn't actually kill the Lings once they have +1 Carapace. It hasn't kicked in as of yet, but this has not been a good trade thus far, in my opinion, here for Violet. But now he's got the reinforcements coming. It looks like he might get a Queen. A little bit of nibbling going on over there, but significantly more aggression happening over here and actually deploying that Baneling in a defensive position.
Yeah, so they're both actually going for each other's 3rd bases right now. A bit of a weird circumstance, because usually you see one player try to defend his, but Leenock just loses it. He doesn't cancel it. He does go down the base, but likewise over here, Violet loses it, but he does cancel.
Yeah, and that's really the huge deal. But now the question is the follow-up coming in here from Leenock, which actually gets into the base before the Lings come in. And now the Banelings have been morphed, because he's going to have to detonate a couple more to really make this work. The +1 Carapace upgrade now in effect. Leenock trying to push in, and is currently deflected here by Violet.
Yeah, great use of that Carapace upgrade really early on, but Leenock has been surprised. Lings have made their way around the left-hand side, and this 3rd could get cancelled again.
That would be disastrous right here for Leenock if that were to happen, and Violet actually surging forward with a huge number. He's also got backup here from a couple of Banelings. There's the cancel. This time he gets it, but that delay is very, very significant indeed.
And right now, it may seem very hectic in the game, which it is, but it's all about the 3rd base. Whoever can get it down and stabilize with a 3rd base faster for a longer period of time
nice.
here,
that was
is going to have
beautiful.
a massive gas advantage, which of course plays such a big factor in this game.
Certainly, and this is all really that Violet actually has to keep doing, is to keep pressuring that 3rd base, at least at the moment. He did have an army supply lead, but running into the base, especially against defensive Banelings, is incredibly risky. And once again, trying to deny it, and this is a wonderful little catch here.
Whoa.
That's a massive delay.
Violet's playing this out really well. Of course, initially, Leenock was the one doing the small things to get an edge, but now Violet is, and Violet has his upgrade on the way. He has a lot of Infestors banking energy already, and he's going to have access to a 5th and 6th gas so much faster than Leenock, which means double evolution chamber can come down, a lot more Infestors come down. The switch over to Hydras is going to be a lot faster here for Violet. So Violet, because of the way he's playing, now has taken the lead in this game.
It's really nice, honestly, especially considering the early slip-up. It's almost like we saw Violet warming up, and then suddenly he cranks it into high gear, and he is ready to really face off against a world-class opponent. And nice little defense here by Leenock, able to get the surround and prevent the cancellation. The 3rd base is, of course, coming down and about to finish here for Violet. Finally, these guys get their 3rds down, and you wouldn't want to go anywhere near that. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, so both of them have stabilized now. They've gone from 2 base to 3 base and are quite comfortable here. We shouldn't really see too much threat towards these 3 bases at the moment. Both players are going Infestors. Oh, we get Lings actually getting to the Infestors here. They're going to have to use some energy. And one Infestor survives with just a single fungal used.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he had to use the fungal, but it was a nice save nonetheless. I mean, much better than losing the Infestor in that situation. Great control there by Violet. And once again, just sending a couple of Lings. Actually sending a couple of Roaches over to the 3rd base there.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're at the same drone mark. They've got Infestors out alone. So once both players actually get to Infestors, but hold that thought, as Violet gets in there again with Lings on this, and that has been the trademark of Violet all weekend, has been his counterattacks, his backstabs.
Yeah, certainly. And once, 2 fungals used to kill 2 Lings, and not an ideal trade here. And that's things you've got to consider later on, because what's going to happen is we're going to see Roach Infestor versus Roach Infestor. And if they have fairly similar counts, what could really make the difference is how much energy is in reserve.
Yeah, that's right. And at this stage of the game, they should start to stabilize with this third base, which means we will see a lot slower of a game. But Violet has Burrow with some Infestors. He's going to start using this. We're going to have to see, does Leenock have an overseer? Yes, he actually does on the natural. I don't think he has one on the third base at the moment, but Violet has, oh, he has actually more than one too. So Leenock should be fighting against this.
Yeah, both of these guys actually a little bit paranoid at the moment, and rightfully so, but the Overseer plays a different role as well. It's not only a detection unit, but it's also a great scout, and it can be used for Contaminate, which is something we're seeing a hell of a lot more of in CBC. You can slow down upgrades, you can slow down Lava Spawn, and in a mirror matchup, that is hugely important.
And fourth base down for Violet and the Hydra Den down faster. Equal upgrades as he moves out with these three Infestors, and that's basically the advantage that Violet had through getting that third base much faster than Leenock in this game. And now it's really starting to pay off for Violet the way that he played this out. So, as mentioned, the game should start to slow down. Infestor's very good at defending, especially on Cloud Kingdom. There's many ramps around it. Of course, Fungal's on ramps, excellent, very cost efficient. So you don't really want to risk it for a biscuit here. Violet, though, once he gets the Hydras up, that's when he's going to get confident.
Was that a bet?
What?
That you were going to slip that one in there? Was that premeditated?
I've made my money back from being in Vegas.
Well played, sir. Well played. Speaking of well played, hi, Infested Terrans, going to murder your expansion, not ideal. Oh, a Fungal on the middle of those Infestors. Actually, it's Fungal on Fungal. This is almost cathartic.
Yes, this is actually insane. And both players trading blows left and right. Violet's going to bring down the third of Leenock, but Violet should be able to stabilize. Yes, he's losing drones. He is borrowing them at the same time to make sure he doesn't lose them. Damage going down on natural too.
Yeah, this is really weird, actually, both guys. And for some reason, you've got Roaches in the main base right here, and he's trying to make his way through. It's taking a significant amount of damage to the process. Want to drag that army out of position. Drones getting a little bit of valuable fighting experience, but unfortunately, there is the Burrow just to keep that away. But here was the Overseer to deal with that, and fourth base from Leenock, potentially harassable here.
Yeah, and you know, both players hit blows. Violet is lower in supply, but looking directly at the unit count, that's just a small couple of things. Small few Roaches less here, one or two Infestors less over there. But overall, in terms of economy and income, Violet is great.
Yeah, he's looking really strong at the moment.
Oh,
Supply
look at that Fungal.
That was nice there by Leenock. Absolutely wonderful. Spits out a few Infested Terrans, which will basically have about enough time to mourn the Infestor before they die a horrible death. I wonder what the eulogy will be, short and to the point, I would imagine. Here comes Leenock across the map with a huge Roach train here, and we are seeing an upgrade disparity with Leenock and that +1 Carapace.
That's right, and because the Infestors were sniped off there, he actually can't really defend this, and with the Infestor that Leenock has of his own, Leenock maybe had to push Violet back here. Remember, Violet has a better income for the time being, but he's losing the army.
Yes, he is indeed, and things are starting to get very grim indeed as Leenock is about to lose, well, he's about to take out that third base, and nice Fungal has been grabbed in there. The third is now down with about 5,000 Infested Terrans, bringing it to the ground, and Leenock is playing a great game here.
Leenock now has brought the bases equal, and he still has a larger unit count. So here, Leenock has a lead. And he's pushing down to the natural here. There's not too much left to defend. There are a couple of Fungals, but look at how many Infested Terrans we should be seeing from either side here.
Yeah, this is going to get very messy indeed, with both sides lobbing green eggs either side of the net. And Leenock is going to try to keep pushing in here. He's just been slowed down by the Infested Terrans for the moment. As we saw that, the fourth base actually did go down from Infested Terrans there with Violet. So things are looking pretty good for him at the moment. He's able to push that one back. A single Roach is feeling very lucky indeed.
Yeah, Infestor wars all over the place at the moment, really utilizing Burrow, the Infested Terrans, the Fungal, and both players starting to try to look for a different way to attack their opponent, and Leenock's going to bring down this fourth uncontested.
Yeah, and actually there's Infestors in the main right here, and that's a nice little maneuver there by Violet, and no way to really stop some of the damage that's being done here. In the meantime, Violet's actually going to go all the way up that ramp. Thankfully, there are no Infestors to grab him in the process, so he gets a little bit of momentum there.
He does indeed, and still, with this being defended, and hopefully cleared up shortly, he does have an overseer with the Roaches, but the Infestors are on the top left. He has a lot of Infestors. Remember, as you said earlier on, it's all about energy saving in this game, especially when you're low on bases, low on income.
I don't like the look of that hatchery. That's bleeding pretty badly. Might need a couple of transfuses. A run by would be pretty effective at bringing that one down here. Nice grab there by Leenock. He finds not one, not two, but 3 Infestors.
So looking at the unit tab to look a bit more close into this, we have 11 Infestors for Leenock, 7 for Violet, and 32 Roaches for Leenock, 26 for Violet. So always undercut there is Violet.
Violet also still has that upgrade disparity. He hasn't researched +1 carapace. Doesn't make a huge difference, but in an equal fight, everything counts.
Yeah, of course it will play a factor in this game as both armies are moving out. And unfortunately, if a Violet, he's going to get pinned down.
Leenock grabs him on the right there. The Infestors can't contribute this fight. The Chain Fungal comes in, and that was really nice there for Leenock. And he definitely has enough Roaches to clean this up.
And
if he's able to collapse the flank.
Infestors off as well.
Oh, this is disastrous right here for Violet as Leenock is able to get huge momentum across the map. There are Hydralisks now on the map here for Violet, which is great, but will he have enough to actually defend?
That's right, we'll have to find out because I don't think he is going to be able to defend at the moment. 30 supply difference, he does have defender's advantage, a couple of Hydras in the mix, but there may be too many infested Terrans here.
Well, where are the Infestors for Violet? He doesn't have any. He lost them all in the previous encounter, which means he'll fungal on the ramp, but Hydralist DPS is kind of good, and it might be enough to push this back. But it's looking a little bit close. The Roach War is going down, but reinforcements come in, and Violet's able to shove him away from the third.
He does shove him away from the third, but he loses a couple of drones there. And Leenock is going to push back. His Infestors are regenerating energy for every second that ticks by here, and that's going to make it a lot easier for him to fight, to use Infested Terrans once again. So he's basically got 2 armies compared to 1 at the moment. The Infestors make a massive, massive difference here. Yeah,
they certainly do. And here come the Infested Terrans, and is this a fight that Violet really wants to take? He doesn't have a choice. The Infested Terrans start popping up there. Maybe I'll target down the Hydralisks if he is not careful. That increased damage per second is doing the job right here for Leenock. He's breaking it. The Roach Wall's coming down. That means the Hydras are exposed.
The Hydras are 100% exposed and will 100% die as well. And more units for Leenock are being made back at home. He's looking to clean this up. If he brings this base down, it's almost a sealed deal because Violet is so far behind on the Infestors, and every fight he loses, he actually falls further behind.
There is one thing that we're not really talking about, though, the fact that Leenock is actually only on 2 bases, and this third didn't go down here for Violet. If he's able to stabilize on 3 bases versus the 2 of Leenock, then he could be in a great position.
That's right. So Leenock needs to win with a big fight very soon. Here's another attack, another assault.
Well, Infested Terrans coming down.
Fungal on the ramp.
Ooh, that was a nice little grab right there, and that's exactly what he needed to try and hold that back. And the more he holds this back, the better it gets for him. He's going to be able to outproduce his opponent, but down goes the hatchery, and suddenly that advantage melted.
Yeah, that advantage melted, and the Infestor count, looking at it, 14-3. That is a massive difference in this game. And all Leenock needs to do now, he doesn't necessarily need to keep on attacking. He can expend his energy, but he should, I mean, if he wants to play it safe, just fall back a little bit here and take his time, let the energy rebuild, and then secure the victory.
Queens are looking for a little trip across the map here. With full energy, with transfuse, that'll be very powerful indeed. Yeah. Also a great way of getting rid of Overseers to make sure that your infested Infestors, wow, really? Okay, your Infestors don't get detected. And there's been this annoying Roach up there for the last 10 minutes on the third base that's been stopping an awful lot of expanding and mining, even killing off drones there. It's done really, really well here for Violet, but as you said, the Infestors and the energy are perhaps the most important thing here.
Yeah, it's almost going to win the game for Leenock. It's that big of a difference here between these 2 players. The amount of Infested Terrans, Violet, of course, can use his own Infestors on the ramp to capitalize. And that's what he's going to have to do.
Yeah, the Infestors are actually visible right there. Fungal would have been really, really good, but Violet is smartly engaging and said, all right, okay, you're going to throw a lot of Infested Terrans, use a Fungal and 3 Roaches, that's fine, I'm okay. I don't actually have a base there anyway. But this is a case of borrowed time, I feel, here for Violet.
And it looks like Leenock's just going to play and try to secure the win by taking his third base.
Can he chain this? If he can chain this, this will be absolutely huge. Violet needs one more. He must have one.
God.
Oh my God, he does it! Violet with a clutch play, and suddenly things start to swing in a way that Leenock was not looking forward to.
Now it's 6 Infestors for Violet, 5 for Leenock. The tables have turned. A lot of energy was banked from Violet on his own Infestors.
And once again, the Roach harassment. Really great maneuver here by Violet. Just a couple of Roaches invested in picking off unit after unit. The entire Roach count has to go back in order to clean it up. And here come the Infestors backing all the way off away from Violet's base. If he can secure his third again, perhaps he's got a, unfortunately, it looks like that natural is actually mined out, so we're going to be having some long-distance mining here and defensive play from Leenock to secure that third.
Yeah, and if Leenock does secure the third base, he has a base over Violet, and a fully mining base over Violet will have a massive income difference. And Violet now moving across. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to break this, so it's going to be very close. The Spinecrawler has been put there as well, or just waiting for the creep to come. Looking to know what Violet's decision is going to be. He's going to try and break it.
Well, the Changeling actually spotted this, which means Violet might be a little bit more indecisive. Going up a ramp with Overseer. Oh, great grab right there, actually, by Violet. Surprised Leenock allowed that to happen, and that's definitely worth it to pick off 2 Infestors and a bunch of Roach damage, too. But that ramp is still very dangerous to assault.
Yeah, Violet does definitely have more Roaches here, but is he going to be able to get the position? Remember, Fungals on the ramp are very, very important. Violet's going to regenerate his Roaches before he goes, maybe. Another Fungal, great efficiency from the energy. Unfortunately, does lose the Infestor in return.
Not a great Fungal there from Violet, and this is what you're looking at here. You know, Fungal looks great, but oh, never mind. Fungal ain't coming into this one. It's Infested Terrans across the side for both players here, and let's see who can come off the better. Remember, that Carapace upgrade is still in effect.
That's right, but these Fungals are just too deadly on the ramp there, and Leenock's going to be able to survive. He takes a good 30-40 supply lead. Infested Terrans to push it all back, and with the income, there's 800 income right now for Leenock, 80 for Violet. He's got 10 times the amount of money coming in, and of course he's going to be able to rebuild a strong army.
Leenock says, well, you roach me, I roach you, and oh dear God, this could be the death knell right here for Violet in this game. That was a huge one. That was a massive grab indeed, and 37 supply to 98. Yeah, this is looking really dire.
Yeah, and throughout this game, the better control has been on Leenock's side. He's used his Infestors better here. He's back up to 14, and Violet knows it. GG. Game 1.
Great start there for actually both players, honestly. I mean, it's hard to really take a huge amount away from either player. Leenock played really, really well. Violet, on the other hand, with some amazing defenses and comebacks, but just not quite enough to make it work. And Leenock taking that early lead. And that's the worst situation you can possibly be in if you're coming in from a lower bracket. Allowing the winner bracket guy to get the momentum on the first game.
4-1 now. It's 4-1 between these two players overall at this tournament. Of course, not within this best of 5, but a massive confidence boost is going to go over to Leenock, who's going to be feeling very happy, knowing that he is better than his opponent. It's shown it throughout this weekend, 4-1.